Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the fucks I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a fuck, that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming now, my roof leaving, don't give a fuck, I don't care. Did the shit by my lonesome, no wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run, all I really want is my share. Get him, I got him, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, fuck all them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. Shit is disgusting, I hear them bragging about shit that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you on my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old shit. I'm on they ass now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. Niggas is trash now, I'ma spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the sky's the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies. I cannot disguise the truth. I've been ducked off, getting sucked off in my new merch, colored duck sauce on the new couch with my Chucks on. Get the fuck on with that hate. I'm big cool on the small chat, cause I know now that I'm all that. Got a hawk guy on the ball cat, get the fuck out of my face.
Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the fucks I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a fuck, that's what they don't understand.
Right. Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, DMG the Poet, aka Brother Pianki. And we got another powerful show with two powerful guests. We still waiting on our brother Brodie to join us. But in the meantime, we have the lovely Miss Divine. Please reintroduce yourself to the Paradigm Shift TV 314 audience.
My name is Leslie Moore Divine. Divine no more. I'm divorced. I don't use that name. But my name is Leslie Moore. I am a metaphysical life coach. I also am a metaphysical minister, and I am also a realtor in the state of Florida.
See, this is why I be telling people to reintroduce themselves, because I didn't even know she had all those. I knew she had some accolades. I just didn't know she had all those. So salute to our sister for all her many accomplishments. But so you ain't been on here probably since like the first year I had this show. You had a whole different look, different vibe, but same energy. So let's get into these questions of the day. Okay. In your opinion, who is the prize in a relationship, the man or the woman?
I am so sick of this question. I
am too.
I feel like this
to be honest, I am too, because my answer not gonna surprise you, because we actually had conversations, but I'm tired of it because it's a silly question, but I wanted to tackle it with some real people. Okay. So I just wanted to put that on the table. Go ahead.
Answer. Neither person is the prize in a relationship. Now, granted, if we wanted to say who should be the prize, of course I'm going to go with the woman, because I'm the giver of life. Anything you give me, you can go out there and spread your seed with 1 million women, but guess what? We're still the creators of life. I have the womb. You grew up because of me. So anything you give me, I can make a home with, I can make a baby with, I can make a career with. But you can't do that on your own. Without me, there is no you.
That's facts.
So if I have to go there, then of course I'm going to go, well, the woman's the prize. And we look for men to be, or we have this societal norm tells us men are supposed to be the providers and protectors and, this thing. I do believe in gender conformity. So I'm not one of those women who is just like, I am not feminist. I am a woman who does believe in gender roles and things of that nature. However, the man that I have is a protector and a provider. I ain't paid a bill in 2 years. He has my femininity. So I no longer have to hold such this masculinity. I don't have to wear this badge of honor of being this strong Black woman by being combative or mean or stern or anything. And I'm able to be loving and I'm able to be kind and multiply anything it is that he gives me. So I'm able to be all those things to him. I'm able to be his peace. I'm able to be his strength. I get to be the neck. I no longer. So to me, he is a prize. I won. You can see alarms. I won. Nobody else is. I crossed the finish line first. That's mine. I got that. And I've been through some other shit to let me know that he is my prize. But he will turn around and tell you the same exact thing.
And that, see.
So for me, I can't say one is better than the other. I am the giver of life. I am the creator of all. However, he gives me something to create with.
See, you kind of stole my thunder, because that's exactly like, listen, I don't know what my brother's gonna say out there, but listen, my whole entire life, I chased this girl who I met in the 2nd grade. And I had the misfortune the fortune of getting her at 17 years old. And I had the misfortune of taking her for granted, almost losing her, getting her back and having to work my way back into her heart. And so, and that's with me knowing that I met her in the second. I thought this was the prettiest girl I had ever seen in the 2nd grade. In the 6th grade, I thought I was pretending that I married her when I was in the 6th grade. So for that to manifest itself and for me to still end up having to almost lose it to appreciate it, ain't nothing been better in my life than that woman. So I could never say that anything is the prize in the relationship between a man and a woman, but the woman. Because without that woman upstairs, I'm not the man I am today in any way, shape, or form. So to me, the woman is going to always be the prize. I'm multiplied several times with my kids and they kids and they kids because of that woman.
And let's not that mitochondrial DNA is stronger than anything. Your bloodline comes from your mother. Your bloodline does not descend from your father.
And see, that's something that a lot of people kind of get twisted, because in a patriarchal society, we take after. I'm named after my father, even though my parents were married. I'm named after my father. I'm the only one of my father's kids who has his last name, and I have his whole name. And it's like that was important to him, and that was important to my mother. Not so important as the kids with my eventual stepmother, and my mother became constant in so close a proximity in years and all of that. But I'm the only one who has his last name. And it was like, I wonder what it was important for me to give my son the same name. But then you start realizing that's a patriarchal society that's not necessarily natural to us. It may be natural to other cultures, but it's not necessarily natural to us. And so
natural
you start
may not be. At the end of the day, scientifically, your genes always go back to your mother. They run back through the mitochondrial DNA. That's why we all have an Eve gene, which goes back to the woman. So when I say women are the creator of all, we are the givers of life, that's what it is. We don't have an Adam gene. We have atoms. We're made up of it. Everything is made up of atoms and particles, but through your genes, there's the Eve gene. So, who would be the prize, so to speak? I guess you would say the woman, but in a relationship,
is there no one else?
It has to be 100-100.
Right. And I think when a woman is treated as such, and she treated as the prize, I think the man becomes the prize for her. When the man treats a woman as the prize she is, he can't do nothing but become the prize to her. So you know what I'm saying? So once I realized what my wife was, that's when I became the man she needed me to be, or as close as I could to it. And that's when we started to experience actual happiness and a breakthrough. There you go. In our marriage, because before then it was a struggle that sometimes I didn't even realize because I was just so happy to be in possession of her. And so not realizing that we dealing with some stuff. She was talking a couple of weeks ago and she was saying we weren't in a good place at this particular time. And we know, because we went to a friend's wedding, we know exactly the night we conceived my daughter that's 18 now. My youngest daughter, second youngest child. So we know exactly what day we conceived her because it was my friend's wedding. And she was like, we weren't in a good place. All I'm thinking about is we conceived our daughter. We went to the wedding, and then she had to remind me of some things that was occurring. And I'm like, we wasn't in a good place because we was always struggling. I didn't see her as the prize I should have saw her as. So I couldn't become the prize to her, because when you treat something the way you should, you act accordingly. And that's all it comes down to.
I agree. And sometimes we, unfortunately, in order for most of us to learn, we have to have certain experiences. The fortunate thing in your situation is you have a wife who was God-fearing and steadfast. And so even though she had times where she may not have loved you, because I need men to understand that we go through times where we don't love y'all. We don't even like y'all. And if we don't love y'all, that relationship's over. So she may have hated your damn guts, but still had love for you, or loved the fact that you given her so many children, and knew that in the eyes of her God, divorce was not an option. And that in itself was her being the prize to you. Her faith has more than likely been your healing and your strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I could agree with that. Because like I said, it certain times, you know, like I say, she'll say something and it'd be like, wait a minute, we wasn't in a good place when that happened, because I'm just so happy. Like I said, sometimes we be so happy to possess somebody and instead of loving somebody. So I'm just happy because I possess her. She in my proximity. I can, you know, I got her right here. So I can fix the other little stuff later, but I got her. She, you know, so, but I'm worried about possessing her, but not worried about loving her. And that's where the mix up came for me. So when she confirmed about, like I say, we know the night we conceived my daughter because of my friend wedding. And so that was a good time. That was you know, we went to the wedding and we came home and then she reminded me, yeah, we went in a good place, and because XYZ. And it's like, damn, because I should have been concerned with loving instead of possessing.
first of all, you couldn't possess her anyway. And I think that's an issue that most of us have in our relationships, because I tell my guy all the time, you're mine. And he's like, I am not a possession. I'm like, I own you. But shut up, Toby. But he be really want to yell out Kunta.
That's hilarious.
But I think we all, once we love something so much, like even with our children, we get that our children are not our possession. But I'm saying, like, they got to grow up and live their lives and go do all of these things. And you're like, but that's my baby. Like, that's my baby. And it's like, no, you were my vessel. So we have to learn as parents, as the vessel, that we may be the bringer. We may bring forth, but we don't possess. And so it's the same thing with our marriages and our relationships. Because I'll tell my guy all the time, oh, you're mine. And he'll be like, I am out of possession. The hell if you ain't. And he'll be like, babe. I'll be like, okay. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's mine. That's mine. So I can't, like I said, I know that this was supposed to be like this. And I know that most men have this idea that, of course, women are going to say, oh, the woman is the prize. And you need to do this to win me. And in order to have me, what's the song? No romance without finance. You got to have a job if you want to be with me. Like, that's what most men have. I went all the way old, because most men have this notion that most women feel like they are the prize. First of all, if you don't consider yourself man, woman, or indifferent the prize, you don't need to be in a relationship. Because you can't look to anybody else to make you whole, to make you complete, to make you feel stable and or secure. That is nobody else's job but your own. So that takes healing. So going into the relationship, you automatically need to feel like, yeah, I'm the prize. So that when you're going into a relationship, you want to be with somebody that you feel like is just as worthy, if not more than you. I went into a relationship with somebody who taught me things and supported me long before we were in a relationship. And this was my first time ever doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this person bought my equipment for my podcast. And we weren't even in a relationship. We were friends. He knew my vision, saw it, and put it and made it come true.
Is there no one else?
He is my prize. It's not pick me behavior or pick me conversation or any of that. Because when he turns and he looks at me, he says, I love him in a way that he's never received before. He has care from somebody that he's never received before. You could put me up against the bear and tell me to go fight that bear for that man. That bear gonna get fucked up. That's my. But because I'm his prize, he'll tell me, sit down, baby. I got this. I'll figure it out.
I'm running this shit. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
I don't have to do nothing. He has let me know that he's a man and he is going to do man shit. And I am the one. I am allowed to be a feminine woman, a powerful feminine woman. And my divine feminine energy, my abundant energy to make things better for us. I can home. I can create in the way that I want. If it was not for this man, all of the things that I stated that I am at the beginning of this whole show, I would not be able to say. I would still be saying, I'm really trying to do this, and I'm trying to find a job here, and I'm trying to do this here, and I'm trying to do this there, and all over the place, trying to make sure that my household is together, that my kids, even though they're adults now, are straight. Like, I would still be doing all of this running. And my prize, because I get to be a prize to him, said, no, real estate is what you love. Do that. I got everything else until you get your first few sales. And after them sales, I'm the man. So I'm going to take care of everything. Your money goes into making the house better. My money goes into providing the home. My money goes into providing the cars. My money goes into providing all of these things. And while I'm doing this, I'm protecting our assets and I'm making sure that everything is together. But baby, you make sure that everything within us spiritually is whole, within our family is whole, and I will be the shield around that. Because you are my prize. Now, how could I not look at this man and go, oh God, thank you. I won. We make each other better.
Are you not entertained?
So I can't say one is better than the other. We make each other better.
If I had that Neo on cue, I would have hit that button. But so basically, she said that, you know, she the prize, but because she was the prize, he became her prize. And I feel the exact same way. If it wasn't not for my wife being who she is, I don't even know if I'd be alive today. Because I promise you, when you and this is my thing, this is why I implore brothers, like, look, if you get a woman that make you feel like without her you can't breathe, don't do nothing to mess it up, because unlike me, you don't have to come close to losing it to appreciate it. You don't have to take it for granted. Hold on to that as tight as you can and act accordingly with regards to maintaining that for what it is. Keep that as pure as you possibly can, because once you corrupt it, you got to work real hard to get it back whole. But for me, the woman is the prize. This question is like the Michael Jordan LeBron debate to me. I don't know why it's a debate. Michael Jordan is the GOAT, and the woman is the prize. The man, I could be a man with no siblings, parents dead, no aunts, no uncles, nothing. Both of my parents could have been only child, and I'm an only child. And my life is extended if me and that woman can come together and produce a child. I go on into and on and on and on because of that woman. It ain't an idea financially that has produced for me that my wife didn't come up with. Even if I came up with it, that she didn't cultivate. So to me, I don't know why this question keep coming up, but I needed the I'm gonna let her say her name because I keep wanting to say the name that exactly.
I am
so
formerly Leslie Moore Divine, back to Leslie Moore. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just say her other name that I knew, but yeah, I think we on the same page with that. I don't know why it's a question that keep coming up, but I wanted her opinion on that because she always come with powerful opinions, as y'all can see, and information. And then I had to bring my man in, Coach Brodie. So I'm gonna let him go on this one, and then we got another question: should sex be transactional? And for those, they know what I mean, but for those who don't, we'll break it down. Coach Brodie, what's up, my brother?
What's good, y'all? Was able to hear?
We can hear you, but it sounds like you're breaking up a little bit.
All right, because I'm trying to got my Bluetooth set up, but it's
you sound clear now. You sound clear.
All right, so I'll say this: as far as I got videos on this topic called Prize Game, right? So anyone who's familiar with me as Coach Brodie, I have something called the sexual polarity quadrant, and Prize Game is basically about.
Coach, real quick, do me a favor. Put the link to your channel in the back chat, in the private chat, so I can put it in the chat. And hey, y'all, the brother channel just hit 1,000 like mine. So me and him gonna get together. We're gonna do a celebration. But in the meantime, y'all go over there and support the brother. He doing some powerful work over there. Again, his channel just hit 1,000. We need to push it to 2,000. So support my little bro. Go ahead, man.
So to me, with pride, this is what takes place on the polarity. This place.
You going back out.
Let me find the link real quick. But
you might need to go out again.
Let me leave out, come back in, see if I can have the Bluetooth come.
All right, put the link in before you go though. Yeah, my bro having some connection issues. So but I'm definitely looking forward to getting his opinion on that particular question. In the meantime, we're gonna ask you because I know your time is limited.
Yeah, because I really have the flu. I just had to get up and throw something on my face. I didn't look deadly when I came to the camera.
She actually doing me a favor, y'all. So you know, we gonna let her answer this question, and if she got a roll, she got a roll.
Okay.
So should sex be transactional?
Sex is transactional.
Talk about
it. If we want everything, if you are having sex, you are going to either get or receive something from that sex. It does not matter if it is monetary, It does not matter if it is material. It does not matter if it is pleasure. You are receiving something in the act. So I might receive or orgasm, or I might receive Alexis. I'm
Hopefully both.
I'm fortunate enough to have received both. It is what it is. You are giving somebody something to get something on both ends. Sex is a transactional act. If I had sex with anybody and they give me a child, that is a transactional act.
Hey, listen, I can't argue. I can't argue with it.
Should it be? There's no way for it not to be. It is a transaction. Now, what you are exchanging besides soul ties and connections, what you are exchanging is up to you. Like I said, it could be material, it could be of any type of monetary gain. If that's what you want to do, if that's how it works for you, that's how it works for you. If it is pleasure, you still exchanged something. There was a transaction in order for you to receive that pleasure. So it is a transactional act any way you cut it.
Hey, listen, I can't argue that point. I cannot argue that point. So listen, the woman has spoken. This was my first female guest on the show, by the way. So
I am.
So yeah, hey, listen. Hopefully she'll be coming back some more.
Whenever
you're not feeling good. So I appreciate. I got to get you and Coach Brodie together, but I know you're not feeling good, so I ain't gonna try to hold you high.
Drinking wine, but really I need to be drinking NyQuil because I have the flu. But I can be here another 10 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Coach Brodie, I want you to answer to tackle the questions, but I also want you to interact with the sister. So, y'all can freestyle, but while we got her for these 10 minutes, freestyle with her on whatever question. She said sex is transactional. It's not a matter of if it should be. It is, and it always will be. Do you agree?
I'd agree, but I wouldn't agree at the same time. I'd say that when it comes to that transaction, it's really about what is that transaction that's being made, right? Like I hear people say all the time, "Oh, if you don't want to have a baby, then just don't have sex." I'm like, people most time aren't having sex with the intentions of wanting to have a child. Most times, people have sex because they want to have sex or they want to get something out of it. To me, a lot of these things work on the foundation of this pre-qualification versus earned qualification, right? If you are primarily a submissive individual, you earn your qualification. If you're primarily a dominant individual, you are pre qualified. If you are pre qualified, then from your pre qualification, you set the masculine foundation for how the tone and the pace and the way that things are going to go in that relationship dynamic take place, right? I think that there are some women who have the capacity due to their upbringing to take that masculine dominant role. Uh, but typically, that's only going to work for women who are extremely experienced or who have a very healthy background, right? And for men, it's the same thing. It's either going to be somebody who's extremely experienced or has a very healthy background. But in most instances, I'd say that a woman being quote unquote the prize, I don't believe that her animus is going to allow her to actually handle that correctly. I think that most women who go into a situation with the mentality of being the prize ultimately will cut their own noses despite their faces.
Oh, wow. Miss Moore, do you care to respond?
I've already said what I thought. Personally, again, I do not feel like either party is the prize. The relationship is supposed to be the prize. And so, because I do have a man, one who, again, is my protector and provider, who has gifted me the lifestyle in which I live, where I am able to do the things that I want to do versus doing the things that I have to do. He is absolutely my prize. However, because I am the source of his, I don't want to say strength, because he's strong without me. He's a very strong man. But I help to eliminate his stress. I give him love that he's never received before. I am his support. I am the ear. I do give him suggestions that do make things better, because I can't tell him what to do, just like he can't tell me what to do. But because I am able to be there and be that thing that he needs, he will tell you all day long that I am his prize. So we found and we make each other better.
Yeah, I can say this. I think the whole concept of both
And
people.
say that
I'm sorry.
Let her get it out, brother, and then I'm
I
gonna
would
let you.
him
I
and
think
say,
she broke up. That's what it was. I wasn't trying to over talking.
I would never take from him and say he's not my prize. He's my no, that man is my prize. But I did all the work in order to get that prize. I earned him. On the other hand, that man can't do anything without me. He can't make a baby on his own. He can't make a home on his own. And again, as a woman, anything that's given to me through nature, I am able to multiply. So, with that being said, knowing that I am God, I am the giver of life. I am the giver. I am his creator. To him, I'm the prize. But one can't do anything without the other. And that's the duality. That is he is the yin to my yang. I don't like this whole, is the woman the prize, is the man the prize. I don't like the whole misogynistic thought process that most men have when it comes to this conversation. I don't like all of that. If you can't be with someone who is going to make you better, if you are not already whole enough within yourself when going into this relationship, it's not going to work. But if you know you are going into a situation to better yourself and that person and better that situation, you are automatically each other's prize and you're going to win. At this big age, I'm not playing no games. I'm not doing this for fun. I got mine. I got my prize, but he also has his in turn. So that's just kind of what it is for me.
So my point was this right here, right? That when it comes to relationships, right? When it comes to relationships, the whole topic of who's the prize, this, that, and the third is not so much about gender to me, but what I will say it's about is a matter of how do you start, who sets the pace, who sets the tone. And when it comes to this, unless you both have the same social programming, somebody's going to be doing some bending. Somebody's going to have to be flexible. And the person who has to earn their qualification
Hold
has
on,
to
real quick,
earn their.
real quick, coach. You say you can't hear us? Yeah, she said she can't hear us.
Are you able to
Yeah.
hear me now?
I don't know. It's almost like she muted too, because I can't hear her either. Go Go out and come back in. I'm gonna push her out and see if
You hear me now?
I could always hear you. She couldn't hear you. So I kicked her out, and then I'm gonna tell her to come back in. But yeah, she said she couldn't hear you, and then she couldn't hear me, and I couldn't hear her. So, but continue going in. I'm gonna see if we can get her back in.
All right. So what I'm talking about here is who is setting the psychological foundation for the program, the pace and the tone in which this relationship is taking place, right? There's pre-qualification and then there's earned qualification. To
Can you hear?
me,
I'm sorry.
having the capacity to
Yeah, we can hear
be
you.
the foundation for that relationship as far as the program of that relationship. Either you both have to have a similar to damn near equivalent equal social programming before you encounter one another, or whoever is the most masculine individual when that relationship starts is the person who is the prize in that scenario until the other person earns their qualification of also being a prize through their ability to be submissive. I believe you should walk out your initial role before you start trying to mix it all together, or you'll just meet every person in the moment you meet them. You'll just see if you feel something, and if you feel something, you integrate with them. Integration is when you're both the prize, but in this day and age, let's not talk about transaction. Let's talk about how you make that transition. Now, most people are not always going to have the capacity to create a positive feedback loop that's sustainable, right? Relationships work on cycles of energy. If that cycle of energy is not sustainable based off of the primary person in a position of leadership setting structure that makes that cycle of energy sustainable, then it doesn't matter how attracted you are to one another. It doesn't matter how good of a decision something is. It doesn't matter if y'all think y'all want to go in the same direction. If the polarity isn't correct, then that cycle of energy isn't going to be sustainable, and there's probably somebody getting manipulated in the mix.
So
Uh,
I apologize for cutting you off because I do have to go, but we are basically saying the exact same thing. I'm just I speak in very layman's terms. I don't believe in having to do anything extra. I want people to understand where I'm coming from, but we are absolutely pretty much we're 90% in the same lane. I don't know, the conversation went is going to go how it's going to go when I go, but they were two totally different questions. So sex being transactional and the one man and woman being a prize were two completely separate questions. So I guess you all will finish that, but my man need me to check the security cameras, so I gotta go.
All right, hey, looking forward to having you on again. Appreciate you doing me this favor. Feel better as soon as you possibly can. Take
Thank
care of
you
yourself.
very much, and it was very nice meeting you as well. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, Chris.
Bye.
so as
All
far as the
right,
topic of so as far as the topic of sex being transactional, what I'll say about this particular topic is this: uh, whatever you trade for sex as a man can be used against you, right? Whatever you trade for sex outside of that woman's own desire can be used against you. This is a topic that I talk about all the time, right? If you trade financial resources to have access to a woman sexually, then guess what? You're going to have to continually give that. And guess what? The value of that can go down as far as how much it's appreciated over time. And you can end up paying more and getting less coochie. And guess what? If that isn't a sustainable cycle of energy for you, you're going to become drained. And after a while, it's just going to be pretty much being a trick in your own home, and a trick who's not even getting a high return on investment versus the trick on the street, right? If you're trading, like, and guess what? And if you have to get in too much of a feedback loop of eventually taking away the money that you give her in order to maintain access to her sexually, then now when you go to court, they're going to call you someone who's a financial abuser, right? If you're trading emotional validation, right, in order to have access to a woman sexually, then that means that her emotions are going to lead the relationship rather than your program and your understanding of who the fuck you are as a man and what you say things should be. So that means if you are a slave to your sexual needs, above all else, but that woman is a slave to her emotions rather than her emotions being a slave to who you are as a man, then if that woman is the prize, then that means that unless her emotions feel unconditionally safe to do whatever fuck shit she feels like she wants to do, and you need to be able to take it and be cool with it, then guess what? Her emotions are going to run that relationship regardless of how strong you think your program is. And if you take emotions away, take validations away in order to correct the situation, then guess what? Now she's going to label you as a narcissist, right? And let's say we're talking about social validation. If you use social validation like social clout or marriage or a relationship title or children or clout, whatever it is, then understand how you get somebody is how you lose somebody. But it's not only that, but social validation loses its luster with time unless that woman knows how to help push you in a direction that actually gets you more of that. Uh, like I always say, in order to be in an integrated relationship, realized chemistry has to be greater than curiosity, right? If realized chemistry is not greater than curiosity, then someone's always going to have a grass is greener on the other side mentality. So I think the thing to understand is that when it comes to sex, when it comes to polarity, polarity is based on these two primary principles, right? It's the good D and the guidance, right? When you are a man, being able to uh, put that woman in a position where she desires you sexually more than you desire her, right? And that she respects your principles and your character as a man, right? The direction you want to go in. Uh, those are the two main things. As a man, that's what it means to be the prize. What it means to be the prize as a man is that if there was nothing else you were offering, she still want to fuck you, right? And you don't have to buy her cooperation. And that is what the prize would be, right? Now, what does this do? This gives you the opportunity to, rather than being transactional with her for the emotional validation, social validation, financial investment, hoping to create a positive feedback loop with her sexuality, you're rewarding her with good dick for being a good girl. And then now she has to earn the levels of emotional validation, social validation, financial investment. Therefore, she will actually be able to appreciate it. Now, the truth of the matter is this: uh, some things do depend on a woman's maturity level. If a woman is of a certain age where she's at an integrated place in her life, then she may be able to develop a cycle of energy without having to do the utmost to earn it because she's going through those stages in life. But what did I say? A woman who takes a masculine dominant or integrated position is typically either going to be a woman who had a very healthy upbringing or had hella experience already. And if you are not able to stretch her sexually, mentally, emotionally beyond where she's been before you are not that guy, Bucko. She's the one who's running this shit. And if she don't know how to run this shit, she about to run you into the ground. And you're gonna have to go to therapy and all type of shit, get manipulated about how you need to make this woman feel so damn emotionally safe, all different type of shit. When really this woman's sitting there playing in your face. Uh, I say this right here. As a man, I think if you really have a great woman, that's a beautiful thing. Uh, I think sometimes men don't give themselves enough credit, and I think there's sometimes men give credit to their women to make them feel good, but sometimes women take that shit and go to their head a little bit because I see it all the time. All it takes is a midlife crisis. If motherfuckers would have seen what it'd really be like. You could be in a good cycle of energy, but all it takes is a midlife crisis. All that shit over
Hey, let me ask you: do you feel like a man can maintain his sexual appetite within the confines of marriage?
with. I think it's definitely possible. I just think that it's a little bit. It's gonna be difficult because I think a lot of it's going to depend on the development of that woman's animus, right? Like her internal masculine, how she views masculinity. If the way she views masculinity doesn't become integrated from a foundation where there's genuine attraction and desire there, where her internal masculine is developed as well, but having already walked through her femininity with you, then I don't think that's really gonna work out too well. Because the thing is this, right? There's four stages of the animus, just like there's four stages of the animus. If that woman's animus is not developed to a certain point, then what's going to happen is this: if it's not developed to a certain point, then she's going to have a very idealistic view about how hyper masculine you should be, but at the same time, it's going to be a split in that animus where if you are loving, present, and consistent, this is going to make her feel safe. This is going to make her feel loved. This is going to make her feel poured into. But if you aren't already that guy in her eyes and she hasn't earned it, even if she wasn't able to, for whatever reason, if she didn't earn the position she has in your life and earn the validation that she receives from you, she's going to take that energy that you pour into her in order to give her the confidence and to fill her cup enough to go chase after somebody who will be that guy for her. And if you can't handle that, that woman is not in your lane. You could be a bit more attracted to her. You could have more money than her. It don't matter what it is. If you can't handle that, that's not a woman in your lane. So I think we can't overlook natural attraction. We can't overlook the importance of respect. We can't overlook the importance of a woman feeling as if you're a prize. I think that the more masculine you are, the more you can grow to love an individual over time and to value them based off of what they do for you. It is not in the nature of a feminine individual to uh, love someone based off of what they do for them. When you're feminine, you love someone based off of their boundaries, right? When you're submissive, you love someone based off of your own investment. This is actually on both sides of the fence. You love someone based off of your own investment, right? Because love is a individual experience. You can't guarantee how someone else feels about you. You know, how you feel about somebody is based off of how invested you are in them. But we have to understand that, like, keep in mind, I'm 27, I'm about to be 28. Within most people around my age group in my generation, how things are going to work is that uh, until you reach a certain level of maturity, it doesn't matter how much quote unquote healthy shit you talk about. It's not going to create that feeling in a woman that's going to give her the capacity to be good to you unless she already is there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I hear a lot of married men that complain about the their sex life within the confines of their marriage, and I'm like, but then I hear other married men who like, yeah, nah, we look, we get it in, and I've even talked to a brother who, they got to a point where um it was getting a little bit, monotonous, and so they opened it up and started you know exploring alternative uh relationship situations, swinging and things of that nature, right? And so I'm like, oh, I'm not into sharing, not knowingly anyway. And so I'm like, I don't want to get to that point where you so desperate to rekindle something between y'all that you start wanting to let other people come in. So I've been wanting to ask one of the relationship folks that question for a minute.
I
As it
say
relates to marriage.
so. I say this. I'm not a married man, but what I will say is this: when it comes to relationships and cycles of energy, uh, I'll put it like this: it really depends on the maturity level of the people involved. How integrated are you within yourself? And I think that's very important to understand. Like, are you able to do the things that make realized chemistry greater than curiosity? Right? Do you both feel safe enough in that relationship in order to like to have this play take place? Uh, it's either gonna have to be one person who's doing all the work, but it can able to create that environment, or it's gonna have to be both people mutually putting the work in. But if one person is doing it, it's gonna take so much energy that it's really gonna have to be on the overflowing cup space. And even then, it's not going to be a guarantee that it's going to take place within a certain period of time. I say this right here. This is one benefit for some men of getting older, is that for some men, as you get older, your testosterone starts to go down, and as the testosterone starts to go down, your sex drive starts to go down. Your woman starts to question herself a little bit, making her feel a little bit insecure, and then she hits that age around 40 something where her sex drive hits the peak of her lifetime. And as long as you're still in adequate enough shape to still beat it up, the fact that you don't want it as much makes her feel less pressure, and then it kind of flips the dynamic. But if that's not the case, then yeah, you might have some issues there. I think that's really kind of what balances things out. I don't even think it's about the money thing, right? Because it's funny, people say that like the peak quote unquote. I don't believe in this whole S and V thing, right? They say the peak quote unquote S and V of a man is in his 40s to 50s, while a woman's peak S and V is in her questionable, like like late teens to mid 20s. And I'll say the funny thing is if you flip it around, the peak sex drives and libidos of men and women are completely flipped to the quote unquote S and V, right? So
Exactly.
a
Exactly.
man's peak libido is going to be in his late teens to mid 20s, while a woman's peak libido is going to be in her 40s to 50s.
Uh-huh. And you know what's crazy? Ever since I was like in my like 8, 9, 10 years old, women look better to me as they get older. Like I ain't never been one of these dudes who like she looked better when she was younger. They look better as black women in particular look better to me as they get older. I feel like it's because my I'm so uh hypersexual that I feel like I'm like Neo in the Matrix when it comes to a woman sexuality because they look better to me as like my wife right now look better to me than she done ever looked in our life. She continues to look better and better and betterer. Like she looked like a snack at 17. She looked like a snack now, and it just I don't know what it is, but that's
I,
just how it goes. So
I say this, I think women that I've dealt with, that I've interacted personally, most of them, as long as they didn't let themselves go, they began to look better as they got older. Uh, So I'd say that definitely is the factor. It depends on how hard you live too, because it's funny. Because I'm a guy, I smoke, I smoke blacks, I smoke cigars, and I drink liquor and stuff like that. Uh, but I tend to attract women who don't really do any of that shit. You know what I mean? And at first, there's a point in time, like when I was first in college, where I used to like having women I could smoke with, drink with. But as I got older, I had to learn to appreciate, man, it's a blessing sometimes when you deal with women, you ain't got to worry about all that other stuff. You know what I mean? Worry about the women going out and having excuses, getting drunk and high, what they quote unquote homeboys and getting fucking stuff like that. You know, if you gonna do it sober. You feel me? But I think it's one of those things where I think there's also kinks behind that. There's fetishes behind that for me personally. Like I remember being younger and thinking, okay, many men have this fear of a woman getting older. So what I'll do is I'll watch porn, this mature porn, and when I watch this mature porn, and then you get to see this woman who's up in age a little bit in her full sexual essence, and then learn to fetishize and appreciate aging like wine. And then when you see that as a possibility, the next thing you know, you no longer have a fear of a woman getting older.
Hey, man, listen. You know, Craig always joking about us being brothers, but I'm starting to think we might be long lost for real, because you be sounding too much like me sometimes, man. But go ahead. I had to cut you off right
So,
quick. You be saying
I'm,
stuff. I'll be like, man, hey, young blood be thinking just like I did. But go ahead.
I'm gonna say this right here too. This is where you and me get along real good with the foot fetish stuff because as long as she takes care of them, the feet ain't gonna be too likely to change. Even if she get a couple of wrinkles,
Facts.
the soles might get wrinkled up. Now the feet even prettier. So it's like if you have certain things on a woman's body that are going to be less likely to change that you fixate your sexual attraction on, rather than things that are going to be highly likely to change, then it's going to be much easier to sustain attraction. Like if what attracts you the most is things that signify youth, like a very flat stomach. I mean, if she has your child, and depending on how her natural skin is set up, she might get some stretch marks. But when you're a grown man, that's just an oatmeal cream pie. You ain't really worried about that shit. And then all you got to think
It's,
about,
yeah,
all you got to think about is Transformers. I'm like, shit. I'm scared for a woman's body look a bit too perfect these days. I'm like, is it, where your baby pictures at? So to
right.
me, I like to see a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Don't be coming over here with your body looking too perfect because I'm scared to used to have a Johnson. I don't know. That's like how I look at it these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Now let me ask you, man. You want to open it up for the chat? I see my captain is in the building, Captain K. You know, y'all. I'm trying to get y'all together for a conversation. I'm trying to just think of what the topic is. I know what topic Cap want, but I'm trying to think of a topic for y'all. So
Yeah, let's
for
open up
those,
the chat and answer the question.
yeah. For those who listening, my brother Captain K got sharpened the sword radio every Sunday at 11 a.m. Paradigm Shift TV 314 and on ISUPK St. Louis channel. Y'all go over there and subscribe to my brother channel. He always doing something, teaching the people, helping the people. He in the community, actually doing real work. So support my brother. But let me throw this link in the chat. See who we get to come in. Hopefully, Cap will come in and talk that talk for a little minute. Charismatic classic Craig.
Yep.
In
So that's classic right there. What's good, nigga?
did he just do the pose?
What's good, Chief? What's good? I saw the one and only Coach Brodie came on, man, educating the people about relationships and showing why he's the chairman. You know what I'm saying? I had to come by and give support to the one and only rock star Coach Brodie. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I appreciate you, man. I really do, and I'm glad y'all called me for this. And I apologize to y'all. I pulled up late. I was trying to get to this show tonight to do a performance. It was just like a 3 minute set. And it was kind of tough. And I work night shift, so I was up all day and all night. So I had to take me like an hour nap. Then by the time I finished up my nap, I'm like, all right, cool, we jumping in. And I realized I thought ahead and I bought me a Red Bull earlier. I try not to drink these anymore, but I got me one tonight. So I'm ready to shoot the shit with y'all.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, it actually worked out because I didn't realize that the sister had the flu and she wasn't gonna be able to be on that long. She was like, "Look, I'm only doing this for you, and I'm sick." I was like, "Oh damn, all right."
It was she sure did fool me. But hopefully she can come back on another time. You know, when she feel better, when she's at 100%. I wanted to ask her a couple. but I asked Brody. Because of the world we live in now, Brody, and due to the topic we was looking at, saying that a lot of people are saying that who's the prize now, the man or the woman at the end of the day, right? Now, me personally, I kind of don't get into conversations because they vary with the person. You see what I'm saying? Um, and to be honest with you, you don't really necessarily need to say you're the prize when your action speaks but louder than your words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
it just comes with it. I've just by looking around, you see who got big high dollar jobs who they don't need a man that can take care of themselves and stuff like that, and they get with an individual, they get with a man even though he has less than that woman financially. Like for some reason that woman is drawn and attracted to that man because that man has some type of value that she needs in her life, and so she'll treat that man like the prize. I've seen that multiple times. I know you know what I'm talking about also. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things I wanted to ask you when it come down to sex, right? You know what I'm saying? Is it transitional? You know what I'm saying? Or transactional? You know what I'm saying? Is it when it come down to it, and who does it benefit? I want to ask you that question right there. If you can answer that for me, bro.
I say that sex is more connected to a woman's submissive ego than it's connected to a man's submissive ego.
Mm-hmm.
In that, I'll say this, and this is something that messed some people's heads up, right? But when we're talking about sex, uh, everybody has imprints, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, these imprints are really about projections of your animus and your anima, right? You know, I'm big on my Jungian psychology.
Yeah.
Uh, in order to fulfill that imprint to integrate with an individual, that person has to hit both sides of that anima or animus, meaning the gentleman and the gigolo, the Madonna and the whore, right? Now, when it comes to these characteristics right here, until a person's at a mature enough stage in their life, they're not going to be able to experience both at the same time without just throwing off the cycle of energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we have this whole conversation about transitional, transactional, the prize, if you really want to know who the prize is in a relationship, uh, before you integrate, it's really going to be a matter of, are you able to engage? Are you able to begin with casual sex and lead that as a man into a relationship, or is a woman able to start that relationship as a friendship and create a positive feedback loop that leads into a relationship that's sustainable? That's who the prize is. If you're a man and you're able to start with sex, create a positive feedback loop on that woman's ego, where it moves up into the space of being integrated, then the man is the prize. If the woman's able to start with platonic friendship and create a sustainable cycle of energy where she's wanted more sexually and emotionally, and then also lead into a place where she uh, trains the individual to deal with her in a way where they're mutually satisfied in that relationship, then the woman's the prize. But it's earned qualification versus pre-qualification. If you're pre-qualified, you're the prize. And if you earn your qualification, then you become a prize. That's basically how I look at it right there.
Okay. Facts. 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 How you look at it. So it's not based off of material wealth or anything like that. At the end of the day, it's more of a character thing, or is it more of a just a social status?
It's more so about the polarity of the situation and who establishes being in the position of rewarding the other person in that cycle of energy. Who's in the position of being the rewarder?
Rewarder. So what would that rewarder be? What would that look like? Can you give us an example?
So transactional would be, let's say, transactional would be there's a lack of intrinsic desire on that initial level of interaction, right? So if there is an intrinsic desire and intrinsic reward, then it becomes transactional rather than rewarding, right? That's important to understand. So that means that if you are a man and you're having sex with a woman, but she needs something in exchange for that, then it's transactional. Therefore, you can't leverage or lead with anything that you're being transactional for. So if a woman is setting the masculine foundation for the relationship, if she's in a position where her non-sexual companionship, her company, who she is as a woman, is not interesting enough and valuable enough and adds enough value to your life for that to overweigh and outshine the sexual desires that you have enough for her to be able to reward you with sex after you've earned it, then is not in a rewarding position. It's more so a transaction, right? It's a covert contract. If you're a man and you're starting off a sexual relationship, but the woman's just having sex with you because she wants validation, then it also creates this feedback loop where it becomes a power struggle before you're able to reach a place of integration in the first place. You get what I'm saying? So it's really about avoiding the power struggle as you're establishing the cycle of energy.
Right. So, okay. So basically, what you're saying, let's just say, if you have an individual, they just start off things sexually at the end of the day, right? But then that person will want more, right? Would it be that female that will want more, depending on that male, or would it be the male that wants more in your case of study?
So you can only be the prize if the other person wants more of both the sexual and the non-sexual than you do, and you're able to coach and or train them and lead them to be in a position where how they treat you causes you to naturally desire to reward their good behavior, and that you're actually a person who has the character to follow through with that without betraying that trust. If you don't have the capacity to do that, then you're not really a leader.
You're not really a leader.
I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake. How you want it?
So like let's say a woman is in a position, because what you got to understand is that most people are not in a very high cup space. Because most people are not in a high cup space, typically what's going to happen is people are going to transmute and siphon energy from a person who submits themselves to them so that they have more energy to pursue someone who they're more attracted to. We all have a dominant and a submissive ego.
Mm-hmm.
So the dominant ego is connected to us feeling valued, and the submissive ego is connected to us valuing the other person, right?
Right.
Most people being integrated is about being dominant and submissive with the same person. But I believe you need to walk out your first role first. It's just like if you are a man and you cry every time a woman doesn't text you back, you're a bitch ass nigga, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you are a man receiving a Medal of Honor in the military, right, for valor, and you cry when you're receiving your Medal of Honor, no one's going to look at you and say that you're weak because you've shown your masculinity to the point where you've earned the right to display your emotion. And this is something very important to understand. Like many women talk about how they want a man to be vulnerable, they want this, they want that. A lot of that is what I consider Delilah syndrome. Because if that woman in her own mind hasn't met the price in her mind of how invested she needs to be in order to respect that man's emotional attachment or investment in her, then she's not going to respect it. And because she doesn't respect it, she hasn't earned it, it's going to lower the value of the validation. And when the value of the validation gets too low, that woman's natural inclination is going to be to desire to be submissive to somebody else.
Right.
So if you can't handle that, then that's not the woman for you.
Right. It is.
You're not the man for the job.
It is.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained by Coach Brodie? But hey, man, I just wanted to ask the chairman, man, just to get a little bit of the chairman's psychological breakdown when he gave the preparation. But yo, hey DMG, I'm gonna hit it back to you, man. I don't want to get in the way of your soul, brother. Coach Brodie, aka Chairman. Shout out to Brodie and his channel. He finally got 1,000 subscribers. That's how many people he reached and changed. And it is Coach Brodie. Check out his music, Adidas Daddy. You know what I'm saying? A man always wear Adidas. They need to sponsor him and quit playing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Coach Brodie is the one, the artist, the musician, the talented, and the most talented number one mind in the community when it comes down to understanding the psychosis of the masculine and feminine at the end of the day, man. That's the one and only Coach Brodie. Shout out to the chairman, man. Shout out to the chairman. And where he get his hats from. He never tell me. You know what I'm saying? But
I get my hats sometimes. I get them from TJ Maxx. I like TJ Maxx, and sometimes my bitches get them for me.
See, his bitches get them for me. See, I don't got no bitches. They'll get shit for me. I gotta buy all my shit myself. So,
Like, listen, you got to listen to the listen. I remember one time I was having a conversation with Coach Justin, right? And Coach Justin, Mr. Justin, he's like he's a coach, and he was more of a game coach, but now he focuses more on BDSM. And I was having a conversation with him one time, and he said I needed to write down my program, right? Just to actually write it down. But
right,
what I ended up doing was I just made a song out of it, and that song is called Adi Dotty, ADIDADDY, and it's like that's really what the song is about. Like, if any woman I was gonna deal with wanted to know what I'm about, just listen to my song Adi Dotty, right? And the thing about that song Adi Dotty is that Adi Dotty is basically taking it's a modern black exploitation experience. So I'm basically taking the tenets of being a daddy dog, mixing it with a degradation kink, and then throwing on top of it a little bit of some ism lingo to make it seem like pep talk when really it's just talking about being a daddy dog. That's really all it's about.
right. Nice, nice. But hey, I got one more question before I leave, man. The legendary one and only Captain K, the captain of 1,000 men, right? From ISBK, the man. It has to only be the one and only Cap to answer. They would have given this question. So take this out. Cap asks, and why would a man watch porn? Can you answer that, Brodie?
Why not?
Damn. Why not?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I ain't a fan of virtue signaling. I ain't a fan of virtue signaling niggas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't shame me. Ain't no shame in my game. Never has been. It won't be any either, right? I think I want to get this guy on the call because he always got a lot of shit to say when I'm on here, and I want to chop him up because I don't think his game is as tight as he think it is.
Oh man, bro, that's Captain K, man. Hey, it took 40 Negroes to take him down, bro.
I'm an army by myself.
Oh snap! Oh man, hey, yo DMG, I'm gonna hand it over to you, man. Brodie's in his bag of tricks, man.
Captain K, the brother said he don't think your game is as tight as you think it is. Where you at? Where you at? And the brother say his beard is more dominant than yours.
Yeah, like, yeah, you're an Israelite. I'm an Israelite too, but I don't hide behind no camp.
Oh, he say he don't hide behind no camp. Where you at? Oh
And
man,
my beard probably more luxurious than yours. You probably got more fringes than me though, so I'm gonna leave that part alone. Man, I need to get me a Adidas jumpsuit that got some fringes on that hoe or something like that, man. Goddamn, I'm gonna add some fringes to my I'm gonna add some to my repertoire. I gotta find some.
that is hilarious, boy.
But I keep my beard luxurious. You know, it's funny about twice a week. Now I wear koofies on a regular basis, but about twice a week, at least twice a week, every single week, people assume one or two things about me. They assume that I'm either a Muslim or I'm from Philly. Every week.
Where are you from?
I'm from Indianapolis.
Okay.
But my people are from
like
South Carolina.
Going through the same thing.
Probably sleeping under the fan. Hold on, let me turn this camera off real quick. But my people are from South Carolina though, so you can pretty much say I'm a South Carolina guy because I lived in South Carolina. Okay. My father's from South Carolina. My mother's from South Carolina. But I grew up in 5 different states though. So I grew up in Indiana, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So I moved around a lot. That's why I probably don't have like an accent that fits into like one particular city or area or region because I grew up in so many different places that I just talk however I talk.
Right. And that's what's up though. So yeah, and I think that it's that conversation about who's the prize. I think that's one that's been it's been out there for a while now. I want to say probably since the Kevin Samuels phenomenon sort of took over and people started to emulate his content. I think that's when that question started really germinating, and I just kind of wanted to see what y'all opinion on it was, because like I say, mine is more so for I talk from a personal standpoint that in my situation, my wife was the prize, but in her being, for me, she was the prize, but in her being the prize, that made me become the prize for her. So it was kind of like almost like it was like synergy, almost like one thing couldn't have happened without the other. I couldn't have been her prize had she not been mine, and vice versa. So it just depends on how the two people kind of view each other. To
I
me,
think it depends on this too, right? It's like I think it also depends on what age you meet one another too, right? I think that if two people meet at a young enough age, I think if the woman isn't sexually overstimulated or you're just naturally gifted, then a woman can start off as the prize, and then you can end up ingratiating and integrating into a relationship where you both feel like the prize. I think the issue is that once certain lines are crossed to a certain extent, then it's a much bigger hill to climb. I don't think it's a matter of, like, to me, if both people don't feel like they have a prize in an integrated relationship, then the cycle of energy is not going to be sustainable because both egos aren't going to be satiated. You get what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it personally. But did you ever watch my video on concubine culture?
no. Is it on your channel?
Yeah, the videos on my channel. So
Okay.
when I talk about concubine culture, something that I talk about within that video, in another video I posted recently about Brodie's guide to Jungian shadow work. Uh, when I talk about this particular thing, something to understand is that when you are an individual who's growing up in this society, right, and you come up in this society in this generation, especially in this generation, what you have to understand is this: it's really about how painted in, how colored in is the impression of your imprint, right? The less colored in it is, then the more space you have for that to be stretched with the individual that you're with, for that to be influenced by it. The more life experience you have, the more sexual experience you have, the more your anima and animus become stretched, the more that gets colored in, the more you have standards that you want another person to reach up to, the more you're required to be competent, right? The more you're required to be secure, the higher the standard it takes to be compatible with an individual. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of it has to do with your mentality.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
So it's like if you're a
And
young man, so I said like if you're a young man, like you're very young and you meet a woman, she ain't been out there like that, and you just have a natural, strong, masculine or dominant essence to yourself, and you build a strong relationship with that woman, and she respects the investment that you make in her, then even if it starts off with a position of her being the prize at the beginning, you can still end up in a position where when you become integrated, you naturally set into your roles that have synergy to them. It's simply a matter of after a certain amount of experience goes by, that's when there's a higher expectation on how competent you have to be in order to create that cycle of energy.
it is. There it is. And that makes sense because it's kind of like I was saying in terms of you kind of become what the other person is to you, and vice versa. So I guess my brother Cap, he might have fell asleep, but he just ain't gonna hit the link, man. The brother said he want the smoke, Cap. He said you always talking that talk when he in here, man. So it's time to bring that smoke. So hey, look, he say put up or shut up, Cap. That's basically what he's saying.
But
Like,
yeah, let's answer some of. But I do want to answer some of these comments and see what's going on in here.
all right, point them out and I'll put it up.
So there's this one where let's see. Well, let's cover this one right here. Oh, why would a man watch porn? Let me answer that real quick, right? So something to understand is that to the pure all things pure, to the defiled all things are defiled. What is your relationship to it? What is your mentality with it? Uh, if you have a very addictive personality, or if your shadow was not integrated adequately enough, then this will become a substitute for real life. But this is something that could become a supplement to real life, and not necessarily a supplement in a way where this is something you're doing just because your woman doesn't like you. This is something that can actually make it easier to create and hardwire uh, more of the things that you're already attracted to within your partner, right? You can learn new things to keep things spicy. I think we also have to recognize how overstimulated we may already be, right? If you're not that overstimulated, then you might be cool with just a missionary, right? That might be cool with you for a long time. But what are you exposed to, right? Because a woman can be satisfied with what she's getting right now, and then get a new group of friends, if you know, and then start hearing about how Coach Brodie's giving them 30 orgasms, and hear about how Coach Brodie giving them 30 orgasms in an hour, and then now they think like, hold on, what is this? You cry? What do you mean crying during sex? Why would you cry? Don't ever be in no situation where your woman is having a conversation with you. She's sounding confused when somebody talking about some real experiences. Like, oh, a orgasm from penetration. What is that? It's just I just thought, you just rub your pelvis on them. It's actually the bottom of the pussy. What? The cervix, that hurts. Why would somebody want to have a cervical? That doesn't exist, right? Then the animus start coming up, like, cause listen, some niggas are vultures. They are predators. When they hear some shit like that about certain experiences she ain't had.
Hey man, listen. When you say you become predatorial, you ain't never what? Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what the fuck a dude's head up? When a dude talking to your girl and or talk to a woman you dealt with, and he's going through a list of all the experiences he knows how to give in his mind. And when he's sitting there hearing all them experiences, he's like, okay, well, she already had this, she already had that, she already had that. Man, end up going all the way down the list to find the dirtiest, nastiest shit he can possibly find to even like deprave or like be a deviant to himself, because it's like I just gotta find some way to plant a flag.
Find some way to top that. Exactly.
And you know what I mean? So that's just like that's how it is sometimes.
For a real cat, it's just like you just naturally just be rapping, right? Like I could say something about I put my wife toes in my mouth or something like that, and you ain't tripping off of who heard it or whatever the case may be, and then all of a sudden one of the little salesmen coming back, and you know how it be, you working and then they lean like, so you have a foot fetish, and you like, why the hell is you? But then you realize I did say. And because people that ear pick up when you hear, he do something I like. Let me inquire about this. So it is what it is. But
now,
I'm trying to. My man Cap says watching porn is homosexual. What I think I know you. We might have tackled this last time you was on, but when and he says like you looking at another dude's rod and you don't like what's your it remind me of when my mother used to tell me when I was younger. My mother told me, like, had me all messed up. If you masturbate, you gay. And I'm like, wait a minute. What? Like, I had to have a talk with my uncle, like, hey, man, mom said such and such. And he was like, oh, man, that's big. No, she just don't want you doing it. Like, I was, oh, whew, like, okay, because I ain't thinking about what she talking about. I'm but that's one of them. It sound like that when my brother say it. Like, it's like the ultimate deterrent to keep you from watching it. But what's your thoughts on that?
Man, if you ain't doing nothing with no dude, this shit ain't gay, bro. That's I don't know. That's my stance. People take that however they want to. I think I look at things more so from a standpoint of dominance and submission. Like I'm not somebody who is like uh I'm not much into slut shaming, and I'm also not much into sex negative views. I'm not too much into being against the LGBT community like a lot of people would assume or expect me to be, because there's masculine, feminine, dom sub dynamics there too. Like to me, it's about whatever you resonate with first. Do you resonate with the masculine identity first or the feminine identity first? Whichever one it is, you're going to develop through your anima or your animus of that first, because everyone has both, and then you work on the other one later. Uh, I think that my stance with things is this: I just believe that whatever is the freakiest shit that you're willing to do, in order to not be duplicitous, you should be willing to do that with whoever you love the most. That's just my perspective. If you're not in a position where the freakiest thing that you're willing to do, you're willing to do that with the person you're not willing. If you're not willing to do the freakiest thing you're willing to do with the person who you're the closest to, then you got some issues. That's how I look at things.
You got problems, yeah. You got problems, and it's funny because it's I think about myself and like growing up, and as you start to get out there and engage with young women and things of that nature, it was just certain things I couldn't do, even wanting to do it, the pretty feet, the other things, right? And it's like I can't, like I just something ain't, the math ain't mathing with this. And then I get with my wife, and it's like I don't think I should do that because she's so pure to me. And I'm saying, and for lack of a better word, it's like I don't want to just like backwards thinking. And that should be the only person that I would even consider going there with. And it got to a point where it was like, hey, you know what? I'm about to, I'm about to do something. And if it's too much, let me know. If it ain't, can we gonna rock out? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm too old. I've been at this too long not to be doing what I want to do with who I want to do it with. So
I think that's important. I think that's one of the most important steps towards overcoming that Madonna whore complex that many men have. And women have the gentleman gigolo complex too. I think it's one of those things where once you're in a place where you value a woman, you have to also be willing to see that other side of her. And if you're not willing or able to see that other side of her, then you're oftentimes going to push her into the Madonna box. And then all the other whores around you going to become more and more appealing. That's one reason why I stopped being celibate. Because I remember I was in a relationship. I was celibate for religious reasons, right? And when I was celibate for religious reasons, and I started searching the Bible for the topic of fornication and pornuo and porneia and zana and the context behind these scriptural meanings behind these sexual topics, uh, I was searching it out so I could have some better understanding because I recognized that through trying to repress sexuality, I began to desexualize the woman that I actually loved. So when you have that problem, you gonna fuck your relationship up, man or woman, man or woman. I just don't think that's healthy. Me personally, like people have their own views of what's healthy, but to me, my view of what's healthy is whoever you're the most intimate with is the person you should be the kinkiest with. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%, Doc. I agree 100%. So yeah, since it don't look like my brother Cap coming in, we can wrap this one up. But I want to give you a chance to not only close out, but let the people know. I put your link in the chat, but still let them know how they can find your channel and what you got going on over there.
Yeah, so my channel is Coach Brodie. Just look me up, Coach Brodie, on YouTube. Also check out my singles. COVID Floor is out, and I got a new single that just dropped not too long ago.
Wait a minute. Cap always with the dramatics. Now I didn't say we about to close out, and he didn't hit the
link. Come on in here, because I ain't had that much time to hear anyway.
Look at this guy. Cap 10K in the building. Hold on, Cap. You know what I gotta do. Before you say anything, Cap, you know what I gotta do.
I'm running this shit.
Go ahead, bro.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
I don't care what a man say. A man watching porn is gay.
Oh, Cap coming in with the bars.
Always has been and always will.
I don't know, man. To me, a man who's overly concerned with what another man does with his dick is a little bit questionable himself.
Cap, you still there, Cap?
Mature porn.
Hey, Cap, you had went out for a bit.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. No, then the brother said he watches.
Yeah, you still going out.
I watch BBWs too.
Go out and come back in, Cap.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. You sound clear now.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but no, I said then the brother said he watches mature porn. I said, "What? That sound old and gay." Like, I don't understand what we're talking about.
Like, but you missed it. He said he watched BBW too. He said he likes
as well.
Girls BBW.
Type like Sexy Dry, eat some.
Say watch BBWs.
Yeah, I like BBWs as well.
What's that? What's that?
That's Big Beautiful Women.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with you having a big beautiful woman, but what you?
No, he's saying he watched BBW porn, Cap.
BBW porn. Also, he watched men have sex with big beautiful black women. He said.
Oh yeah, I do that as well.
I mean, it's still you still watching another man take a woman to Pound Town. That's gay.
Yeah. Ain't nothing gay about it.
You don't think so?
Not at all.
Are you a homosexual?
No, I'm not a homosexual. But to me, to be overly concerned with what another man, to be overly concerned with what another man does, to me, that's kind of gay. Like, why is other man dick on your mind so much?
I mean, don't try to put that out there like that. You the one came on and said it, so I'm just responding to something that you said.
We said that and moved right on past it. That dick just stuck in your brain real heavy.
No, it's not. You know what I'm saying?
What you said there?
It's obviously stuck in your brain because you sit and watch other men's penises. The only one I'm concerned about is my own.
I can concerned with mine right now.
I can care less.
Your mind real heavy.
Okay, see now I think you're homosexual for real, bro. I really think you're homosexual for real. Cause look at how you talking.
Man, you can't save me,
You
bro.
gotta be gay. You gotta be gay, bro. You say I can't save you, nigga. I ain't trying to. What you talking about?
I gotta be gay. What, you want to suck it or something? Why you keep asking me if I'm gay, nigga? What's wrong with you?
Suck it. Hold on, nigga. What you talking? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on,
You got
dude.
my you got my dick in your
Hey,
mouth a whole lot
DMT.
right now, my boy.
DMT. Hey, I'm a roll. Hey, I'm a roll on that because I don't play that faggot shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go ahead,
Cause
roll out, my
I
nigga.
you know what I'm
Go
saying?
ahead, roll out.
Cause yeah, so like I said, but it
Yeah,
still stands.
you
The
keep
brother
on
is
trying to question
proving
my
himself
sexuality like you
to be a
inquiring or
sissy.
something.
The brother obviously is a sissy. You understand? So yeah, but I don't get down with that, dog.
Man, take your dick
And,
washing
you,
ass up
and
out
you
of
was
here
talk,
then.
and you was talking about setting up a conversation with me and this sissy. It'll never happen.
Well, you scared to get smoked, you scared to get smoked. It is what it is. Your logic is not tight, my nigga. Not at all.
All right, my brother Cap, we'll get with you. Let the people know what you got going on with Sharpen the Sword.
You already know, man. It's going down this Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's gonna be another good one. You understand? We got some good stuff lined up too. We're gonna try to get Captain Kaposh and those mighty men out in Indianapolis that stopped a terrorist attack. A Palestinian woman pulled a terrorist attack on one of our schools. You know what I'm saying? And those courageous men turned around and stopped that thing from going any further. You know, so we're gonna try to get him on the show as well. You know, we're supposed to be going to Indianapolis. Not this weekend, but next weekend, I think. One of those, either this one or the next one. But and support them brothers out there. You know, so like I said, it's still going down in the UPK. You know, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Y'all know wherever you are, we're there. You understand? If you need us, food, clothes, counseling, you understand? It's truth, all of that. You understand? Look us up in your city, ishpk.com, and that's that.
I'm running this shit. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
All right, Cap. We'll see you on Sunday, my G.
Yeah, right, bro.
Like
There go my man. What's up? That's the Jersey King right there. Look, my real say, is he in the closet with all his clothes? I said him his jersey. Oh man. What's up, Fred?
What's up, Cap?
You hear me? You got it. What's cracking?
Nothing really, man.
Are you not entertained?
Yep.
What our wild world is doing, Cap. You know what I'm saying? We got some business we gotta do, Cap.
Oh yeah, hit me up.
Yeah, some reformation.
I know you say you had some stuff lined up.
Yeah, get some stuff together, man. But yeah, Light Travels, Cap. I got some hotels. Cap.
Yep. Let's get it.
Yeah. Anyway, I just want to say this, man. Coach Brodie, man, you said you wanted a dialogue, Coach Brodie.
You don't want to dialogue with me.
No, I talk about with Cap. You said you wanted a dialogue with an individual. You said you had a topic you wanted to debate. Who was it about? Premarital Bible?
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what I want to talk about.
What was your stance on it?
My stance on it is that the concept of premarital sex is not really too much of a biblical concept, and the idea that biblical fornication is premarital sex is not biblical.
Hey, I might be able to find you somebody on that, but I'm gonna let Craig do his Craig thing. So,
DLG, if you know somebody, you got it.
So I might be able to find somebody, but like I say, I'm gonna let Craig do his Craig thing. He the matchmaker. So, but I'm gonna throw some names at you, Craig.
Yeah. But who would you want, bro? Would you want a Christian, a Hebrew? Who would you? I stick. What would you want, bro?
I'm thinking Slim Reaper, but you know.
Nah, he'll Andre. You know what I'm saying? He'll beat the hell out of Leandre. I don't want to hurt Leandre like that. But who else?
I don't know. And I rock with Brodie. I rock with Brodie, but we talking about the Slim Reaper, man.
Brodie too powerful. We gotta see. What would you want, Chairman? I'm gonna let the Chairman decide. Cause that is his title. The man. What would you want?
Well, to me, my issue is more so with the traditional values that aren't biblically based. So I don't think that. So when it comes to this topic, it's sometimes hard to find somebody to actually have this debate with, because somebody either is going to assume that their point is right already, or they've already researched it and they just don't talk about it, or they research it but they don't care. So it would probably have to be like a Christian or something, because I think most Israelites will typically take the stance that sex is marriage, and I don't think that's necessarily the most accurate thing, like across the board biblically either. But it's more accurate than the conversation of premarital sex being fornication. So
Right.
that would be an easier argument to make. Uh, because there would be a few different instances in the Bible to go off of with that one. But I think my main point would just be covering fornication in the Bible, as in the context. You know, Leviticus 18, you got Deuteronomy 22. Then you also have like context surrounding First Corinthians, and ritualistic temple prostitution, idolatry, and the sins listed in Leviticus 18. And to me, it's fascinating to me how the Bible will go as far as to say that sex on your period is a sin. Having all the way from period sex all the way up to having sex with animals and close relatives, but say nothing about two people who aren't married having sex with each other. And in the only instance where it does talk about that, when we're talking about that in the Old Testament, it's more so akin to property rights, as far as the bride price, and there was no sacrifice that had to be made. So if a man were to seduce a virgin who was in her father's house, he would have to pay the virgin bride price. If the father didn't like him, he would have to go away. If the father liked him, he would have to marry the woman. If the father didn't like him, he would just have to pay the virgin bride price, which is what the father would be defrauded from because of property rights and dowry and how things worked back then. And from that stance, he would then be free to go if the father didn't like him. But how does that apply to a modern day and age where women have their own money, where women aren't under their father's house or their father's leadership, and they are already not virgins? That's why I would say that I believe we live in a concubine culture where if a woman is a virgin in the old sense of, what that meant, if that woman was a virgin, then she would have that quote unquote purity where you would be the person who's stretching her, as far as breaking that seal, creating that covenant. But in the instance where a woman isn't a virgin, in my mind, I see that as a concubine. A girlfriend is like a concubine. You're submissive, that's like your concubine. That individual would then have to earn that qualification due to how they actually perform over time, rather than just seeing them having a conversation with their father and then marrying them, right? To me, I believe that a biblically acceptable way of handling things in the current climate that we're in will be different than the socially programmed way of interacting. Because oftentimes, what this is in the modern climate conversation is women who already got burnt out sexually. Like, how much fucking you got to do to go celibate, right? It's like women who are already burnt out sexually, they're going to church and then having a pastor boost their head up about wanting to be quote unquote born again virgins, right? So that they can pretty much manipulate a man who they're probably not all that sexually attracted to into being willing to wait and work for them when they've already given up that right by having given up their virginity without actually having the capacity to do that. Like, I can't tell you how many stories I have of fellow Christian brothers that I know who were dating women who had children, uh, had a history of being promiscuous, would get burnt out for a while, and then want to play this role of being this damn near virginal woman and want to be seen and viewed that way, to want to date and build a friendship and to talk about wanting marriage. Then 6 months later, the woman pop up on Facebook pregnant. You know what I mean? It's like apparently you weren't that serious about this whole idea of being abstinent and celibate. Men don't let women take advantage of you. It's like it's as simple as that.
Right.
Y'all didn't know. Y'all thought he just did dating, sex, and relationship stuff. Y'all didn't know the brother knew the Bible. Damn.
Actually, my journey. Actually, the funny thing is,
surgical
my journey,
with this bitch, Jake. How you want to?
hey, the funny thing is, my journey into the BDSM lifestyle started with me studying the Bible, right? And my journey into getting into Jungian psychology started with the Bible, right? Because I remember when I was going through that part of my life where I felt that feeling of sexual repression that led to the activation of my shadow. Uh, it can lead to the beginning of sexual duplicity. So I remember you got to understand in this day and age, there is no true punishment or no true repercussion for a woman not being submissive. So if you're looking at the Bible from a perspective of thinking you can beat a woman over the head with a Bible verse and say the Bible says submit, that shit does not work. If you want a woman to be submissive, you have to learn to develop your dominance, right? I remember reading Romans 7. You know, the things I don't want to do, I do. The things I want to do, I don't do. To me, that sounds like shadow possession, right? Where there's things that you want to do, but the law came so that sin would abound, right? So that every mouth would be shut. So that means that there must be a different thought process that goes into how you assess your morality rather than being so fixated on the concept of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil that you become a duplicitous individual because you don't have a capacity to look at things from an integrated perspective.
Damn. Hey man, where you find Coach Brodie at, Craig?
Around the corner store. We was chilling. We was smoking. I sat down. He said, "Hey, you know I got a YouTube channel, right?" The rest was history.
You stupid. Hey, look, we're gonna get out of here, man. Coach, let the people know what you got going on your channel and where they can find it.
All right, yeah. So my channel is Coach Brodie on YouTube. If you want to find me on Facebook, it's Brodie Dharma. Also, something to understand is that I got my first projects coming out soon. I'm working on it. I'm almost done with it. I got some more recording I need to do. I'll probably be hitting the studio today, so I'll probably drop some videos on that. Uh, my project coming out is called Young Negus, a tale of sexual shadow work, right? And Young Negus, as in Jungnegus, right? So it's like a play on young niggas, right? Playing into the ideas of black stereotypes in the urban black experience, but also mixing that with certain concepts of Eastern philosophy when it comes to understanding polarity and energy work, right? And understanding that process of integrating that shadow through Jungian psychology. So the tale of sexual shadow work is pretty much my journey of my life experiences from that point of coming to this knowledge when it comes to sexuality in the Bible and the process of going from being someone who's heavily socially programmed and learning to try to navigate these waters to coming to beliefs that many others won't agree with, but you know from your study are true, to finding a way to integrate your perspectives, my perspectives on religion, on sexuality, on conspiracy theories that I believe, on Enochian mythology, on just being black in America, and taking these different concepts and these ideologies and being able to meld them together. Shit, a lot of these tracks on this project are damn near gospel baby makers, to be honest with you. Because you know what, and the reason why, I'm and one reason I'm like that about the gospel baby maker thing is because people act like only devil worshippers got good dick. I don't like that. That bothers me.
Hey, as it should, as it should. Hey, that being said, Triple C, We know you got some loud and clears coming up. You ain't got to say with who, but we just reminding the people that they coming. We back in business. We back focused on what we've been doing to bring this content to y'all. So
not only that, I want to say this too. We have some remixes going on. We got some new launches. The Sports Dungeon is gonna get its own channel. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Geb T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? We will have one more show here Sunday. And then after that, we're going to launch the Sports Dungeon channel. We'll let you guys know. We got a lot of things we're bringing. We're going to do them loud and clears are going to be special. They're going to be totally different. I got some work I got to do with Coach Brodie. He and I are going to have a conversation. Brodie and I talked about it before. Identifying the same factors of women. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into some heavy material when it comes down to the psychosis of why certain ladies say certain things to men, right? One of the things I want to talk about is the pedophile, the pedophile insult and slander tactic that they use. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get into that later, man. You know, I got to ask Brodie this. Brodie, you a poet too, right?
Yeah, South Carolina State University poet laureate back to back. I was also first runner up, and I was the second runner up.
Look at that, man. The man. That's
I
why.
got a line in the song coming up. I got a line in the song coming up saying, "Live every hood nigga's dreams like a Master P." Because I really do everything.
Dang.
I'm an undefeated boxer too.
See, look at that. Man of all trades, jack of all trades. See, you just like another DMG, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just a younger DMG. You know what I'm saying?
You stupid.
But I just had to say this, man. Shout out to Brodie in the Carolinas, man. Chilling out and stuff like that, man. Hey, we got some more work to do. We'll be back at it again. I will be back.
Man.
And Brodie will be back. This man can't be screaming and getting mad when I'm saying this shit because he know I came up with that title and that slogan. But it's all right, though, DMG. Since you want to say it, go ahead, say it.
It's cool. You already said it, man. Look,
yeah.
like the brother said, we'll be black at it. It's Paradigm Shift TV. Y'all know what it is. That's peace.
Out.